Communication is an essential part of our daily lives, and language is a key aspect to this as we communicate effectively with our words, gestures, and tone of voice in a multitude of situations. But what happens when language fades from the face of the earth? There are well over 6,000 spoken languages in the world, but some of them are near extinction, and efforts may or may not be made to salvage these. A group in Yucatec village, Orange Walk district, though is laboring to do just that with the Yucatec Maya. Today, over 40 persons of different ages graduated from a 2-week course that was facilitated by a professional teacher. We stopped by to find out more about the initiative. Mr.Ismael Cal reports.
Puksi'ik'al Maya, translated into Mayan heart, is a group from Yucatec village that has taken upon itself the task of rescuing a fading culture, the Yucatec Maya heritage. And they have started by rescuing the language, says Group President Ismael Cal.
The Maya language, it's a language that is kind of fading away, practically lost, but we are trying to recuperate this precious language of our ancestors.
This is specifically Yucatec Maya?
Specifically Yucatec because we here in Yucatec, most of our ancestors came from Yucatan, and we are speaking the Yucatec Maya language.
How has the response been from the community?
Better than expected. When we started this project, we knew that there was going to be kind of like people not wanting it, but we are very surprised to find out that it's not so. People are encouraged. They're sending their kids to this workshop. We were expecting 40 on this workshop, and 46 showed up.
Children as young as 5 years old and adults took the 2-week classes. These were facilitated by Martiniano Perez Angulo, a professor at the Universidad Internacional Maya de Quintana Roo.
Aquí se tocaron 5 temas principales. Considerando que son niños escolares, intentamos darles los términos que se deben utilizar para nombrar las cosas que tenemos en nuestro entorno. En este caso tratamos sobre los saludos de los 3 momentos del día. Tratamos la presentación del niño, cómo se llama y cómo está. Es lo que normalmente decimos en un saludo cotidiano. Y luego tenemos el siguiente tema, que es sobre la escuela. La escuela, el aula y lo que se utiliza para aprender, que son los útiles escolares. Posteriormente se toca el tema de la familia y la casa. Luego se trató el tema de los animales domésticos. Esos temas fueron los ejes del trabajo para la enseñanza y construcción de un vocabulario que pudiese permitir a futuro los niños puedan ir haciendo uso de la lengua maya para describir su entorno.
As an expert in the language, Angulo says there is much that a community can benefit from such efforts.
Toda la historia que nos habla de la existencia de la cultura maya se puede ver efectivamente ahora con vestigios arqueológicos aquí en esta región, con gente maya que todavía mantiene la lengua maya con cierta dificultad. Entonces la gente tiene que beneficiarse cuando siente que lo que es suyo, lo que le han legado sus ancestros, todavía lo pueden practicar, y en estas actividades que ya son más formales se toman en cuenta. Entonces se fortalece la identidad de la persona, se fortalece el ego de la persona para que se sienta contento y pueda convivir con los demás, hacer una comunidad feliz a partir de nuestros valores lingüísticos y culturales.
While the focus was teaching the indigenous language, the lessons also helped the participants learn about their ancestral heritage, and it is something they both enjoyed and appreciated.
It is surprisingly and amazing how they grasp all what was taught better than us, the adults. So to me, it was an excellent course, which involved from 5 years to 8 years. And I had a fine time with all the kids, and I am sure that everybody will still remember what happened during these 2 weeks.
The entire workshop?
Well, it was a great experience. It was educational. We got to know the languages from our ancestors, and it was very impacting.
I enjoyed it very much, mainly because I got to learn about my roots and my culture, knowing how to speak the language.
When you guys started the 2 weeks workshop, did you know anything or at least one word in Yucatec Maya?
Well, I did know some because I took it last 2 years, and this one was a bit different, but I didn't know all, but yeah, some.
How about you?
No, this was my first time, so I was very new at this, but then my grandparents speak it a lot in my house, but then I didn't know none of it.
So now after you've taken this class, you could hold a small conversation with them, you think?
I could have a small conversation in Maya.
According to UNESCO, to keep a language from disappearing, a community should create favorable conditions for its speakers to speak the language and teach it to their children, ideally through national policies that recognize and protect minority languages, education systems that promote mother tongue instruction, and creative collaboration between community members and linguists to develop a writing system and introduce formal instruction in the language. Yet, the most crucial factor is the attitude of the speaker community toward its own language, something Angulo says this community has in large supply.
Hubo un apoyo. Esto es lo que se llama educación integral, cuando intervienen los padres de familia, el maestro preparado y los niños dispuestos, hay una educación efectiva, aprendizaje efectivo.
Dalila Cal, CTV3 News.
UNESCO estimates that if nothing is done, half of 6,000 plus languages spoken today will disappear by the end of this century. With the disappearance of unwritten and undocumented languages, humanity would lose not only a cultural wealth, but also important ancestral knowledge embedded, in particular, in indigenous languages. In reference to the other indigenous Mayan languages, UNESCO estimates that in Belize, as of 2010, Mopan Maya is severely endangered with only 8,980 speakers in the entire country. Quechua Maya is described as being vulnerable to endangerment with approximately 12,366 speakers.